here this week. They are celebrating an anniversary this weekend, and I don't know if you got much choice of where they were going. She went on. Okay, we're going to continue looking at Mark. Scott started the first half of Mark, chapter 5, last week, looking at Jesus casting out the demons of legion. And this week we're going to continue through the rest of the chapter and look at a couple different miracles. So in previous lessons, Jesus establishes himself as a knowledgeable teacher with the power to heal. So in previous lessons, he's not yet called himself the Son of God. In Mark chapter 1, we see demons recognize Jesus, and they call him both by his earthly name, Jesus of Nazareth, and also by one of his spiritual names, the Holy One of God. So they recognize him, they call him out for who he is, but Jesus doesn't confirm that. He doesn't say, yes, that's me. He does cast the demons out, but even with them claiming that, people really don't put anything into that claim of Jesus being Holy One of God when Jesus himself didn't confirm it. Last week we looked at a similar instance. There were demons that recognized Jesus. They approached him from out in the wilderness somewhere. They recognized him from afar, came up to him, approached him, asked him, what have we to do with you? And they called him the same. They called him the different name, but they called him the Son of the Most High God. And again, as Jesus had done in the previous example, Jesus did not confirm or deny that. He just simply cast the demons out into the herd pigs. And so people, I think, didn't really think much of it. They saw Jesus as a teacher. They saw him as a healer. But they did not necessarily know who Jesus was. They knew that he was a teacher, a prophet, and they knew that he had some power to do certain things. So this week we'll continue in Mark chapter 5. Let's go ahead and read the passage that's in the book, verses 21 through 43. Now when Jesus had crossed over again by boat to the other side, a great multitude gathered to him, and he was by the sea. And behold, one of the rulers of the synagogue came, Jairus by name. And when he saw him, he fell at his feet, and begged earnestly, saying, My little daughter lies at the point of death. Come and lay your hands on her, that she may be healed, and she will live. So Jesus went with him, and a great multitude followed him and thronged him. Now a certain woman had a flow of blood for 12 years, and had suffered many things from many physicians. She had also spent all that she had, and was no better, but rather she was growing worse. When she heard about Jesus, she came behind him in the crowd and touched his garment. For she said, If only I may touch his clothes, I shall be made well. Immediately the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of the affliction. And Jesus, immediately knowing himself that power had gone out of him, turned around in the crowd and said, Who touched my clothes? But the disciples said to him, You see the multitude thronging you, and you say, Who touched me? And he looked around to see her who had done the same. But the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what had happened to her, came and fell down before him and told him the whole truth. And he said to her, Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace and be healed of your affliction. While he was still speaking, some came from the ruler of the synagogue's house, who said, Your daughter is dead. Why trouble the teacher any further? As soon as Jesus heard the word that was spoken, he said to the ruler of the synagogue, Do not be afraid, only believe. And he permitted no one to follow him except Peter, James, and John, and the brother of James. Peter, James, and John, the brother of James. Then he came to the house of the ruler of the synagogue and saw a tumult and those who wept and wailed loudly. When he came in, he said to them, Why make this commotion and weep? The child is not dead, but sleeping. And they ridiculed him, but when he had put them all outside, he took the father and the mother of the child, and those who were with him, and entered where the child was lying. Then he took the child by hand and said to her, what is translated to, little girl, I say to you, arise. Immediately the girl arose and walked, for she was 12 years of age. And they were overcome with great amazement. But he commanded them strictly that no one should know it, and said that something should be given her to eat. So the word of prayer. Heavenly Father God, we thank you so much for your word. Thank you for the documentation of Jesus' ministry here on earth, God, that we can look at and study and learn from, to know how his life was, Lord, to know about the miracles that he performed, so that we can ourselves believe that he is the Son of God. We pray that you be with us as we study this morning, as we talk about this lesson, guide our hearts and guide our minds, Lord. In God's name. Amen. So let's start off looking at the woman first. So for 12 years, this woman had some illness, which was most likely something that was related to abnormal menstrual bleeding, is what it's believed to be. She's been in multiple physicians to try to find a cure. And the Bible says suffered, another translation says endured various treatments throughout that 12-year time period. And no doctor at the time could make her any better. Based on technology, what we know today, it's very likely her illness was something like fibroids or endometriosis. These illnesses today that we know about require ultrasound or some other kind of imaging technology that they didn't have 2,000 years ago. So that would explain why it would be difficult for doctors to try to understand or diagnose what it was that this woman was held by. Probably also why the text doesn't give us a better description of the disease. We just get a quick little word of what was wrong with it. So treatment for these illnesses today in modern medicine, medications that weren't available again 2,000 years ago, or a major surgery such as a hysterectomy. Without such treatment, these diseases are only going to get worse as time progresses. And so it's very likely something similar to, if not what this woman was suffering from. So she had spent everything that she had. It says that she spent all of her money. Based off the wording, I would assume that she wasn't a poor woman to begin with. Over the course of 12 years, if she could went physician after physician, she would have had to have some money to do that. So she spent everything that she has. Mark doesn't go into great detail about the disease. What Merrell wants to go into details about female issues, obviously. But we are pretty safe to make the assumption that the constant flow of blood was not the only symptom that she had. Other symptoms probably came with it. Other pain and other kinds of suffering came along with it. So we can assume there were other things there as well. Not only was this disease causing physical pain, the book points out, if this woman was in fact a Jew, what else did it cause for her? Uncleanness. If she was in a permanent, almost permanent state of uncleanness. So she had multiple reasons that she wanted to get rid of this disease, both physically and spiritually. She was trying to exhaust all of her resources, which is what she's done in the last 12 years, to try to find a cure for this disease that she had. So we look at the first verse about her, and it says, after hearing about Jesus, she came to him. And that little phrase, after hearing about Jesus, I think is probably one that's overlooked and overshadowed by the miracles that happened. So that's a phrase I want to spend a little bit of time on this morning and look at how important those few words are. So the lesson in the book says perhaps she had seen other miracles performed by Jesus. While that's certainly possible, I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think if she had seen other miracles by Jesus, and she'd seen the power that he had, I don't think she would have gone home, waited and waited and waited, and all of a sudden came back out and found him. It's very likely that, well, how did she hear about Jesus? How do you think she heard about Jesus?
I think everybody was talking about all these miracles. I mean, we just, like the rumor mill would be going about, have you heard about this guy, you see what he did?
So he's going around healing.
It's got to the point now that Jesus has got such a great following that he has to go hide himself to get any rest. So word of mouth is spread throughout the region already.
Okay. So what was it you think she heard? What specifically gave her this huge faith that she had? That after many physicians couldn't heal her, this man was able to heal her physical ailment. What do you think she'd seen or heard of?
Probably specific incidences of
So earlier in Mark, we see a couple of them, right? Maybe she heard about the story of the paralytic that Jesus healed, who, because of the large crowd, couldn't get into the house where Jesus was, and so they had to lower him down through the roof. Maybe she heard that story, and that story also tells us there was this large crowd around Jesus. It tells us about the following that he had, and how many people at the time, how big the rumor mill had gotten, and how many people believed and saw and kept coming back to see Jesus and to see these miracles that he performed and to hear his teaching. Maybe she, sorry.
I was just gonna say, has any been raised from the dead yet?
Not at this point.
Okay, not at this point.
Not that we know of.
Right.
But especially if that, I mean, even though Jim said there may not be an account of it, but if there had,
It wasn't public.
yeah,
Right.
at any rate, whatever she has heard about Jesus, and more importantly is she's like Rahab, the harlot. She's got to believe she knows something that others in the crowd don't know. She's got something in there that's special, and Jesus will point it out to her.
Okay. Maybe she heard about how Jesus had driven out demons from people. Maybe she heard about the man with the withered hand that Jesus healed on the Sabbath. Really just to show the Pharisees, just to make a point to the Pharisees, he healed this man on the Sabbath, this withered hand. So Jesus had gone around, he healed people that were very publicly ill. Everybody around them knew that they were sick. They had very apparent illnesses. And so she probably heard of some of those instances of these people, not just who had a hidden disease that nobody knew about, but had these outward physical diseases that he healed. So she's heard something, right? She's heard something about Jesus. Maybe she was related to, maybe she was friends with, acquaintances with somebody who had been healed, or somebody who was on the other end of that miracle that Jesus performed.
Well, Jesus was already trying to build faith in God and in himself. He even used her healing as an example to teach about faith. And probably she had heard of the faith that was required.
So Jesus was very smart in how he went about his teaching. He tried to build faith before he actually revealed who it was that he is, right? He did all these miracles. He did teachings from the Word of God. He taught with authority was one of the first things that people said in his teachings. So he built that faith up before people even really knew who he was. Through the power of God in these miracles as well. So today, we still have the occasional faith healer on TV. Faith healing is probably way more prevalent in our country and our world than we would want to admit. Faith healers, I think, rely on one of three things. First, easiest is a plant in the audience. Somebody that's not from around there. You bring 10 people, one of them rolls up in a wheelchair, and you pick the one in the wheelchair because it's very obvious and noticeable, and you heal that person, and your 5 or 6 people surrounding them are just amazed because that's their family, right? So they rely on maybe one, a plant. 2, Captain Goals, somebody who's got this not so visible illness that people can't see, and they've seen and gotten sucked into these charades that this healer is doing, the antics that they're doing with these fake people, the plants, that they temporarily convince themselves that they were healed of their illness whenever he says they were healed. So there's the first 2 things he relies on. And then finally, if neither of those is available, neither of those works, well, the healing doesn't happen. But why? You don't have enough faith. Lack of faith. If the healer is brave enough to pick somebody that isn't a plant, and they don't find that Captain Gullible, the person to be healed may not be healed. And so they just blame it on their faith. You just don't have enough faith. Have a little more faith. Or money. Get a little more money, we'll do it.
But actually in, it might have been last year, or, you know how time flies when you get old. But it could have been several years ago. But I can remember the state had to go in and take some children away from some parents because they wouldn't take the child to the doctor. And one of the children actually died. So they would say faith would heal them. Faith would heal them. So the state finally had to step in and take them. So we have people of that maturity also still.
Right. Even faith healers who go into large churches and perform healings, even those that we see on TV, these people today aren't being wronged or flocked like Jesus was. When they leave that place, they're not being followed around, all the time. So something obviously is different. If there was somebody today who could truly perform healing and truly perform the miracles like Jesus, don't you think that they would be followed around like Jesus was? With the media outlets that we have today, don't you think the media or a reporter would get a hold of it, go look at the background story, prove it or deny it, and show that yes, this person really did perform this miracle. They had this lifelong ailment, they were healed. But we don't see any of that. All we see is the one little, at the time, somebody saying I'm healed. Right? Rick, you have your comment?
Yes, I remember when I was a child, we had a gentleman in our community that had a very serious illness, and television was just starting to be widespread, and he had been watching probably best known of the faith healers at the time, Texas out of Oklahoma, and he got a friend of his to drive him all the way to Oklahoma. All he talked about before he went was how he was going to see this preacher and get healed. And after they drove all the way to Oklahoma, faith healer refused to see him.
A big long trip. Obviously, you had some kind of faith, right?
I don't think anybody, I know how. If God wanted to do that, he could do that. And I don't think anybody in here would say, oh, we can't do that, because he can. But even in these days, when the healing was going on, he didn't do it in that way. He didn't say, okay, I'm gonna go out to the desert at 4 this afternoon, and I want all of you to come out there and see what I'm doing. He didn't do it that way, and he did it without an audience, and even to go on and say, don't tell anybody. I'm not putting this out there. Don't tell anybody I did it. And, I think even today, we look at things and say, wow, that's a miracle. And not believing in, miracles, but when sometimes things happen and you don't see any human way, that should happen. And there's a big word, for myself, I don't see anyone else. It's what I believe. So I think God can do it. And maybe he does do it sometimes through a prayer. But he doesn't do it in the way that we're talking about.
Right.
With the audience.
Right. I think we still see in the medical field doctors that are baffled by people ill and they thought had no chance of it. Right? They come back and have a healthier, better life after that. Nothing can get something other than something supernatural. So yeah, I think we definitely still see miracles. We just don't see them, to your point, in the form of a teacher, a prophet, a preacher.
Going on, what she said, James 5:16 says that that's fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. It's speaking of sickness and whatever.
So Jesus,
Lord, I pray a lot of blessings in my day and time, and I refer to it as blessings, but I've never seen the first miracle in my day. I think, miracles, one thing is blessing. That's how I like to define it.
any other thoughts on that before we continue? So Jesus, going back to the story, Jesus didn't require a plant in the audience. He didn't require the actor or the group of actors. Jesus never attempted to heal somebody and then failed and turn around and blame it on the faith. Jesus healed who he wanted to, when he wanted to. He healed and performed miracles, as you said, both in front of people, not in front of crowds. He healed both those who believed, who had faith that he could do it, and those who didn't necessarily believe that he could do what he was about to do. His miraculous healing power was completely autonomous. I think that's the difference we see between what Jesus did back then and what people try to do right now with faith healing on TV or in these churches.
You don't see nobody turn away from Jesus Christ for the lack of faith. When you get to the next chapter, you'll see that Jesus, well, they laid the sick people on the street. Just let him walk through. You know, it wasn't exactly all faith, but of the person, it was the power of Jesus Christ and God. And he turned no one away.
He used them as teaching moments, right? He always used it to support teaching moments. So the crowds that followed Jesus attested to the truth of the healing, the truth of the miracles that he performed. Local people who had very apparent and known afflictions, like we talked about earlier, they were healed by Jesus with others watching. So people saw, and the news like that spread fast throughout the region. Just like it did in the lesson we saw last week with the herd of pigs. Jesus cast out the demons from this demon-possessed man into a herd of pigs. People that fed the pigs did what? Ran back to the city and the country, it said, right? So they went everywhere. They just told everybody along the way that they were seeing what just happened. They were so shocked, had so much awe for what just happened. They were telling everybody. And then everybody came to where Jesus was to see what had happened, to hear about what had happened.
You know, he told the legion, go and take it. But he tells this woman, go and not take it. I don't understand that.
So that's the point later in my lesson, but the point is, Jesus already got so much of a crowd following him. Just because he can heal ailments or do miracles, he's got people wanting to him to heal them left and right. Can you imagine if people knew that he had power over death? For two things. One, that speaks to something more divine than just some healer, right? So it kind of tells he is the Son of God, and he's not ready to reveal that yet. But secondly, how many more people would be coming to him saying, my brother just passed away, my mom just passed away, and bring them back to life? And so I think for a couple of reasons, Jesus didn't want people to know about this power that he had over death. So I think there was a good reason for that. Hopefully now we have a better understanding of that phrase that typically we just read right over when she says, after hearing about Jesus. It's a theme that's prevalent in the New Testament. People heard credible stories from credible friends and acquaintances on the miracles that he performed, and they were curious. They wanted to see the miracles with their own eyes, and so they flocked to Jesus. They followed Jesus around everywhere that he went to see if they could find a cure, or to see if they could just see the miracle for their own eyes. So now back to the story, the actual miracle, the healing that took place in this instance. The woman, however it was she knew about Jesus, she knew in her heart that he had absolute power to heal her disease. She knew 100%, beyond a shadow of a doubt, like Mike said, something in her just knew that this man that she'd never met, that she's heard all these stories about, credible enough stories that she knew 100% that he had the power to heal her disease. So when the time comes, she obviously didn't want to go broadcast it to the crowds. She didn't want everybody knowing what her disease was and knowing about the healing. And so in her heart, she just hoped that if she could just touch him, not him touch her, but if she could just touch him, whether he knew or not, she knew that he had enough power that he could heal her ailment. So how come others who touched Jesus didn't get the same healing that she did? Depth of her belief. What was the difference, you think, from God's perspective? The depth of belief, but God knew what? He knew their heart. God knew her heart. He knew her faith. This story isn't just a story with a miracle that teaches us to have faith. It's a story that reminds us that God knows our hearts. God cares about what's in our hearts. God cares about what's on our minds. He knows our intentions. He knows our every emotion, and He cares about every aspect of our lives and every aspect of our beings.
Well, I was gonna say, her faith wasn't even like that she had to actually even touch him, it was just his clothing. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, if I could just shake his hand, or if I could, just have him, put his hand on my shoulder or something like that. It's like, he said it's clothing. That's an amazing amount of faith.
I think so. And I think that amount of faith, I don't think it would have mattered whether she touched him or not. I think whatever it was that she believed that she needed to do for healing, the amount of faith that she had, she would have received that healing. In my opinion. So we know from the story that her faith worked. She was instantly healed. And she was happy to go on her way without telling anybody about it. She kind of fell back in the crowd. She knew that she was healed, but she didn't announce it. But Jesus obviously knew. He felt the power leave his body. So he turns around, looking around, trying to find out who it was that had touched him. Because he knew what happened, he wanted to use that as a teaching moment. It wasn't that he wanted to broadcast her illness. He wasn't trying to do anything to embarrass her. But what a teaching moment that was to talk about the faith of this woman who he didn't even know was around him necessarily. She just believed that if she could touch his clothes, that she would be healed. Now let's switch over and look at the story of Jairus. Who, as I was looking over my lesson this morning, I realized his name is not Darius. Evidently, it's not Darius Rucker. Jairus. So I had to go find and replace Darius with Jairus everywhere in my lesson. So Jairus was one of the rulers of the synagogue. He had a respected position in the Jewish culture. So how did Jewish men in positions of authority treat Jesus at this time?
Early in his ministry is curiosity.
Curiosity, in general, still not well, though, right? They weren't supportive of him. They looked for opportunities maybe to trip him up over his knowledge of the Scriptures, or to trip him up over doing something that goes against the law. So for Jairus to even consider going to Jesus, he knew that he could potentially be risking his job, his reputation, with his fellow Jews. But he's also a father. He has a very sick kid. And those of you that are parents know that if your kid's about to die, you're going to do whatever it is that you think you have to do to get healing for that kid. And so, obviously, he, like the woman we just talked about, had heard or seen of Jesus' miracles and the things that he had done, the healing that he performed. Whether he wanted to be a follower of Jesus or not, at this point it didn't matter. He was desperate to have his daughter healed. So he comes to Jesus, and he didn't just ask Jesus to heal his daughter. What is it that he does? What does it say? It says he falls at Jesus' feet and begs. So here's this Jewish, respected person going and falling at the feet of Jesus and begging. He swallowed all of his pride. He risked his job. He risked his reputation, his livelihood, because he believed, he truly believed, based off what he'd seen and what he knew, whether it went against what he grew up believing or not, he believed that Jesus had the power to heal his dying daughter. So Jesus agrees to go with him, but not alone. He's followed again by a big multitude. A very large crowd follows him. And then the woman interrupts. So this was when the woman is interrupting. Jesus takes some time, as we talked about, to stop when it happens, and he teaches about the miracle that just happened. So we don't know how long it is, whether it's 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 2 hours. But he stops and he's teaching based off this miracle that just happened. So it says, while he's still talking, is when somebody from Jairus' house comes up and tells them that the daughter is dead, the girl is dead. says, don't bother the teacher about it anymore. She's now dead. It says Jesus overheard, whether that means he heard it or was told, whatever it is. His response was what? What did he tell Jairus before he even went to the house?
Don't be afraid, but have faith.
Do not be afraid, but have faith. Have the same faith that you came to me with to have her healed. Have the same faith that this woman had that we're talking about right now. Don't be afraid, but have faith. So then when they arrive at the house, Jesus tells them the girl's not dead, but she's sleeping. What is it that the people there do? What do they say or do to him? They ridicule him. What are you talking about? We know what a dead person is versus a sick person. He's dead. Why are you even trying to act like it's not what it is? They, obviously, like we said before, they don't necessarily know that he has power over death. And so they think he's crazy. Even though they know he's performed all these miracles before, this is kind of, they're to the point that they think he might be this crazy person, and maybe he's not who they thought he was, or didn't have the power that they thought he had. So Jesus goes in, he takes just the parents, tells the girl to arise, awake and arise. After the miracle, we talked about it a little earlier, Jesus tells them, don't tell her. He says, don't go out and tell it, don't go out and broadcast it. We kind of talked about that before, why he did that. So that he wasn't going to get more followers, so he wouldn't have more people coming at him and trying to ask him for raising their loved ones back to life. So the obvious lesson in today's lesson is faith. It's about having faith, about knowing 100% who Jesus is, knowing what power he has, and having faith in Jesus. The faith of the woman resulted in miraculous healing, even without asking for it. She didn't have to ask Jesus for healing. Her faith resulted in healing. Jairus had faith, which could have made him an outcast in society, that Jesus could provide healing for his daughter when nobody else could do that. Obviously, he'd probably been to doctors as well, just like the woman, before he went to Jesus. And now she was at her last point of her life, and he was desperate. So he went to Jesus. He had faith that Jesus could heal her. And again, we can't fault Jairus for not thinking or believing that Jesus could bring her back from the dead if she died. Because nobody knew that. Jesus hadn't done that before. So we can't discredit Jairus' faith by saying he didn't believe she could bring her back from the dead. He could bring her back from the dead. At that time, nobody knew that. Faith is really what the lesson's about. And I think the bigger lesson, the bigger theme, is the theme of Mark, the theme of all the Gospels, is proof of Jesus. The miracles, the life of Jesus are real. They are attested to by crowds, not of hundreds of people, but of tens of thousands of people that followed him around, that wanted to get healing for themselves, that wanted to hear his teachings and know what it was that he was doing. Jesus' life and ministry was real, and if that's true, then so was his death, and so was his resurrection. So I think that's really the bigger lesson and the goal of the gospel, is to show us proof of that, to help us understand that it's not just a story from a long time ago. There are these other things that happened with hundreds of thousands of people that attest to the reality of the life and ministry of Jesus. Anybody else have any comments before we close?
Cory, yes, I did. So many times you told them to not say anything, and it was more of a private matter. Don't tell. And I think God may use us that way, that we don't have to. Yes, we are concerned about the multitude, but sometimes there's a situation in our own life that we see somebody that we think God can take this moment to let that person know that you are who you are. And it could have been, this is just pure speculation, Jairus, who was the keeper of the obviously very high on the pecking order. But just to you know, he may have been looking at them specifically. Let me change your heart here. Let me show you. Without worrying about the multitude, but taking this specific moment. I think we are still used that way.
Anybody else?
Of course, all the miracles that he did was to confirm his deity, his authority, and his word, who he was. John 20 tells us that he did many miracles and signs which are not written, but these are written that you might believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God. A good example of the Matthew 8, where a centurion came to Jesus to ask him to heal his servant who was sick. He said, but I'm not even worthy that you come under my roof, but just speak the word only. So, this was a man that was a ruler of others, and he recognized the authority, the power of Jesus. So distance didn't have anything to do with it, and the man that was sick didn't even, but he healed him because of the man asking, Jesus recognizing his faith. He said, just say the word only, because I'm not worthy that you should even come under my roof. And he healed him instantly. And the centurion left to go back home. And when he got there, he asked what time he was healed, his servant. And it was the same time that Jesus says, go. It'll be done. So, a lot of times the miracles, the person that was receiving the miracle or the healing didn't even have to have the faith, because even the man that was let down from the roof, his friends let him down through the roof because they couldn't get inside. But Jesus saw their faith, the two men that had let him down. So all the miracles, if you believe his word, what he says, you don't have to look for a miracle in your life. It's these false teachers today that preach health and wealth. If you believe what he said, his word, his power, you'll do what he says in order to receive really the forgiveness of sins is what he came to do away with.
One of the points you made there, something that kind of hits home to me with this lesson and with the Gospels is this is just some of the miracles that are documented, right? It's not all of the miracles. And really, my mind just goes back to thinking about what are the odds that this man that was born and went against the religious leaders at the time could turn the hearts and minds of all these people before it was written. So how fast Christianity spread, how fast people started following Jesus, to me that attests to his deity. It attests to who he is and who he says he was. He's the Son of God. He is the Savior, the Messiah. And we have some of that documented so that we can see some of the miracles that he performed. But we know that he did a lot more than that. We know that he walked around. The reason that it spread so fast was because of the miracles that he did that then confirmed the teaching. And eventually confirmed that he was who he eventually told people he was, the Son of God. Anybody else have any comments before we close? Scott will be back next week. Thank you.